that walks in every once in a while.
Hey everyone, so this is Linda Ayamundi, and I am so excited to introduce you guys on my podcast and YouTube channel. And well, who's this?
This is Shadow. Of course,
Shadow
he's the first
Shadow.
one that has to make an appearance.
I love it. So I'm so excited because she's one of my favorite Yin yoga teachers. I've been learning from her for years now. And she's been getting into nutrition. She's been doing a lot of amazing things with her life. And I really, really just want her to tell her story to you so you can be inspired by her and Shadow, apparently.
This is Bronson.
Oh, he's Bronson. Bronson.
Bronson, say hi.
Hey, Bronson. Bronson and Shadow are going to be joining us as well. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Love it. Love it. They're so cute.
Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. So, Linda, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into yoga, etc.?
Yeah, so I started yoga because I was a very stressed out student. I was in university. I was studying art history, and I was just super, okay, don't eat that. I was just super stressed out from all the work and the course load and everything, so I needed something. I needed an outlet. And Hot Yoga Wellness, which is a studio that I work for, they had just opened up very close to where I lived at the time.
Okay.
So I decided just to walk in and to see what was up, and I took my very first yoga class about 10 years ago or so.
Right.
And I fell in love.
Amazing.
I fell in love with everything, and instantly I felt better. So I got recommended from the studio owner at the time to take the training.
Yeah.
And I had no intention of becoming a teacher. I just kind of wanted to just learn more about it for myself. Within 2 weeks, I fell in love.
Yeah.
And I dropped out of school. Much to my parents' demise, I guess. I just dropped out of everything, and I just started teaching yoga. And I finished my training, and the next day I was in the class teaching.
Wow.
With butterflies. I had like 3 students in the class at the time, so it was good. We had just opened in our other location, and the rest is history. From that day, I've never stopped teaching. It's been 8 years now.
I think you're a teacher at heart, though, because, I mean, I see your posts, and you're always trying to, like, every post that you have, there's something in there about teaching someone something new about something. So it's just something that's natural to you.
You know what? When I was in university, I was studying to be a teacher.
Oh, you were?
To be a professor. So I figured that, yes, it was always, I love teaching. I feel that if you have knowledge on something or passion even, you have a duty to share that with people, to share that passion, and maybe to spark something in other people as well, right? So I always knew that I was going to teach, and the subject definitely changed.
Yes.
So, I do love, I feel like whatever I'm reading, whatever I'm eating, whatever product I find that I really love, and I think that other people would, I want to share it.
Right.
And yeah. So.
That's amazing. So you're also vegan, I believe. So
I'm vegetarian right now.
You're vegetarian right now. Okay, awesome.
That might change.
And so did you get into that as soon as you got into yoga? Because a lot of people do that. You know, they get into yoga.
Yeah, you know what? I actually didn't. So I struggled with that for a very long time, actually. And I've been a vegetarian now for about 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
So when I first started, I wasn't. And I made that change very slowly, gradually, but it was probably one of the best things I've ever done.
Yeah.
Not only do I feel better health-wise, but I love animals.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I just don't feel that, for me anyways, I just don't feel that there's a place for them on my plate. Do you know what I mean?
I totally get it. I totally get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, also you're kind of moving from yoga teaching and adding nutrition to your plate. So you've been taking courses at the Institute of Holistic Nutrition in Toronto.
That's right.
And you're becoming you're doing yoga therapy on the side. I mean, you do a billion different things. I don't even know how you kind of keep track of everything.
I don't know either.
And you have a billion puppies, apparently.
Yes.
And I think you're always kind of like adopting more.
I know, I'm not done yet, but my house I think this is enough for the size of my house right now.
Yeah.
Taking a bigger house and getting more puppies.
So tell us a little bit about yoga therapy and nutritionism and all of that stuff that you're doing.
Yeah, so yoga therapy is really great because what we're doing is taking a more personal approach to yoga. So when I walk into a yoga classroom, I can have about 40, 50 different people, and everyone's got their own issues. It's really hard for me to give everyone that unique attention they need because it's impossible to see everyone on that and to do everything. With yoga therapy, it's more one-on-one. So we take a student history, and we really get to chat and talk about what your goals are. So it's very, very personalized, which is it's great, and they're both very healing. But I find yoga therapy to be even more so because it is more personal, right? And you really get that time and attention that you need. So yoga, I think in general, is moving in that direction anyways, beyond just being a form of exercise. I really don't like when people call yoga an exercise, because I think it's so much more than that. And if you come in with that state of mind, you're going to be missing out on so much more that it can offer you. So yes, it can be a form of exercise, of course, but it really is therapy, and it really is healing. And so I'm glad that yoga therapy is starting to become more we're starting to see it more, and people are starting, like insurance companies are starting to notice it more. The people, so people are starting to realize that, hey, you know what, this stuff is working. People are getting healthier, and so we're definitely there's a big shift going on right now when it comes to yoga, and I'm really happy to see that.
Yeah, definitely. And if a person does come to you for a yoga therapy session, how does it go? I mean, do you ask a bunch of questions and then you kind of do some
absolutely.
treatment?
So we start with a consultation first, and basically it's just us chatting. What's your health history like? What do you want to work on? What just tell me more about yourself. And then what we do is, and then I get to work and I put together a plan. And that plan might include, obviously it'll include yoga postures, it'll also include nutrition because of my background. And we put this whole package together. It's completely personalized for that person to help them on their journey, whatever they're wanting to attain, whether it's weight loss or whether they have a specific health issue or whether it's just a de-stress, right? Whatever you're coming at me with, we're going to work on it together. And I'm there every step of the way.
That's amazing.
Right? I also like to make myself available. Like, so many of my students have my cell phone number, and they find me on Instagram or Facebook. I live this stuff. I eat, breathe, and sleep this stuff. And I always want to be available. You have a question, just message me. You don't have to wait till you see me at the studio. You know what I mean? So I like that. I like to be available for them. So, yeah.
And I can totally vouch for that. I know myself. I've asked a billion questions on nutrition and natural deodorants and all that stuff, and you're always able to answer any of those questions. I love that. I love the fact that you're so open to being available.
That's important, right? You find all this amazing stuff. You want to share it, right?
Exactly. And then the nutrition part. I mean, nutrition and yoga and therapy, I think is it's like a trifecta of amazingness. I mean, they all fit in together so perfectly. And so, being a vegetarian, do you think that is it impossible for someone to be in a good nutritional space if they're not vegetarian, or do you think that it's fine if they do eat meat and have?
If they're not, you know what? I think that now they're fighting. Hey, mommy's working.
Maybe they don't like the question. Like, no, don't ask me about meat. No.
So, I think everyone is on their own journey. So settled in 5 seconds. Okay, Shadow, come here. Shadow, come. Okay, stop. Okay. I think everyone is on their own journey. And for me, cutting out meat just synced up with my life at that moment. There are a lot of people that still eat meat and practice yoga. There are a lot of people that eat meat and are still very good people. You know what I mean? And there are people that are vegetarian and maybe are not so good people. You know what I mean? So I think that you have to find what works for you. And I need to be able to work with them. There are clients that I have that just simply don't want to cut out meat for whatever reason. And I have to be able to work with that. If I try to make any big drastic changes, they may follow that for a week or two, and then they'll get right back to where they were, because it has to be something sustainable. So yes, I think that, and people might disagree with me, because if you follow the yoga path, right, we talk about non-harming, and if you eat animals, then essentially you're harming something. But I think that we need to just find the balance. And I don't think that I'm an expert in anything. You know what I mean? Like, it's your life, and I really just think that everyone will find their way on their own, regardless of what anybody will dictate to them. Like with me, I hope to inspire people because of the way that I live. When I'm not around people, when I'm alone, I live the same way and I make the same choices, right? So it's important to inspire people by being the person that they can aspire to, and not just simply dictating to them what you've heard from somebody or from some book.
Makes sense.
That makes sense,
that
right?
Does make sense, yeah.
So I think that, everyone just needs to find what makes them happy. I'm not, like, with me and being a vegetarian, I'm not the preachy type. I might say this is good because, but at the end of the day, it's up to them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to sit there and dictate, and I'm not going to tell them all the cruel things that are happening to the animals. I think we all know what's happening. So it's everyone's own choice. And I think that's why people kind of gravitate to me and maybe my classes, because I'm very down to earth. And I think that as long as you're a good person and you're good to people, and everything will unravel when it's supposed to be, when it's supposed to happen. Do you know what I mean?
I totally agree. Yeah.
I think you can be a good person and still eat meat. I know a lot of people in my life that are really good people, and then they still eat meat.
Yeah.
So maybe one day they'll find a different alignment, but for now, that's them.
That makes sense.
You know what? To each their own. That's basically what I want to say.
That makes sense. That is absolutely. I like the way that you do it, because I find that a lot of yogis, once they get onto their path, they become, like you said, very preachy. And if you don't follow the same path as them, they kind of judge you. And I find that to be really not yogi-like.
Exactly. Like, who am I to judge anyone?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't want to judge anyone. I don't think that, like I said, I don't think that I know absolutely everything. I don't think anybody knows everything about everything. Do you know what I mean? I think that, yes, we have certain areas where we know, but no one knows you more than you, and no one knows me more than me. So for me, being a vegetarian just seemed a more harmonious way to live for me.
Makes sense.
And for some people, that's just not going to happen, and they got to find their own way.
Yeah.
So I will not judge somebody and for making the choices that they want to make. And like I said, some people might not agree with me. Some people say in order to be a yogi, you have to not eat meat. I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, I know.
I think eats meat. Do you know what I mean? I read that the other day. So I think there are things there. You gotta find your own way, right? You gotta find. Yeah.
Speaking of Dalai Lama, I mean, obviously he's very big into meditation, and I know that you are as well.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about your practice, or
how you do it? Meditation with me, just for the past few years, I've actually had a much more stronger connection to my meditation practice, even to my yoga practice. It's not always easy to get to your mat, to do or to sit, but I find that when you get started, it becomes a little bit addicting. Yeah. So when I don't meditate, I find that my mind just is completely overloaded. And it's like when I meditate, it's like it's just downloaded into the universe, if that makes sense.
I love that. I love that.
I just get to let go of my day and whatever happened. And I feel like if I don't just take that moment to breathe and just let things go, that I get bombarded with all these things and thoughts and emotions. And I tend to carry a lot more than I need to carry. That's just who I am. So I feel like when I meditate, it's just my chance to let things go. So I I feel that, you know, if you go, there's so many books on how to meditate, and you can get bombarded, but I don't even like to use the word meditation. So when I talk to it with my students about meditation, I just say, you know, let's just sit and breathe.
Amazing, yeah.
Right? Because I feel that's very attainable. Let's just sit in silence and breathe and just see what comes up and just notice the breath. And I think meditation can be so intimidating, and it really doesn't have to be, because all it is just breathing.
Yeah.
Right? It's just sitting down and being aware of what's going on and noticing what's happening. And I think that we're so busy, and we try to cram so many things into our day that we don't get that time to really just sit down and see what's going on inside. So I think meditation, you know, in those moments of stillness and quiet, our bodies can really speak to us.
Yes.
And our bodies are super smart. Yeah. They're very smart machines, and if we just listen to what's going on, we can really find out a lot about ourselves, and we can find that connection again. Yeah. That connection that we lose when we're so busy, and we're always worried about other people and what other people want, that we don't get to really connect with ourselves and our goals and our aspirations and what we want. So meditation can help us do that. Yeah. So with me, because I am very busy and I do have a lot going on, it helps me just prioritize things, right? And yes, it's hard to get onto your mat, but I find that if I don't do it, I feel worse. Yes. So I'd rather just wake up that 10 minutes earlier, or if I'm super tired at night, I'll just go sit on the mat and I'll just see what happens. Like, I don't really do anything. I just kind of sit there, and maybe I'll have some crystals, and I'll do a little bit of smudging, and or I'll burn some incense, and I'll just kind of see what happens. Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah. And I think if you have a space set up, you're more apt to do it. Right. If you have to run around at 12 o'clock at night to grab your mat, your bolsters or whatever, or your music, or you're not going to, you know. So I have a space right next to my bed where everything's already laid out. My bolsters, my mat, my incense, my candles, my crystals, everything's there. It's a very inviting space. And so I just have to go and I just sit. So the one thing I recommend to people is to make a little space in your home that's ready for you. And that the moment you walk into that space, you just feel like you can take a deep breath, right?
You've arrived,
You've arrived, exactly. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. So yeah.
That's amazing.
So it's easy, but I think the one thing you need to do is not to be so hard on yourself.
True, yeah.
Right? And don't judge yourself as having either a good yoga practice or a good meditation or a bad one. It is what it is, right? It's important not to get attached to anything or have any expectations. Just go with the flow. Right. And that's what I tell my students, even with the yoga practice, is just to go with the flow, see what comes up. And then when the hour is over, we let it go. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
And how do you use, I mean, I know you've used crystals in the past, in the practice and smudging. How do you use crystals and smudging in your own practice?
Yeah, so I like to cleanse the space. Okay. And so I will smudge my house a few times a week even. And I'll smudge my yoga place, and just that helps to just get rid of negative energy. It cleanses the air.
What is smudging for people who don't know? Because I'm sure there are people.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. So basically I smudge with sage. Okay. I wish I had it close to me, but I don't. And it's a bundle of sage that you burn, and you just smudge it around. And as you do that, what I always do is I just ask the universe for positive energy and good vibes, and to cleanse the space for me. Right. And I just feel that the area just gets very light after. So I tend to do that often. I'll do it in every room of my house, right. And in my yoga space and the yoga studio as well, because when you're teaching to a room of so many people every day, people are unloading their stuff. And that sometimes is not always very positive. Right. So at the end of the class, I always just kind of sage the room just to get rid of any negative energy, cleanse the space for the next group of people. So that, when you practice yoga, you're opening your heart, right? And you're opening your fields of energy. And sometimes you're going to absorb some negative stuff from somebody else. So if we just cleanse the space and just cleanse our energy even, and protect our energy, then we can, and that's the thing with crystals. Crystals are, I think, a way to protect that energy, to enhance the energy. So I'll have certain crystals for different things, and I've given a lot away as gifts, just because I feel like, if I know somebody's going through something, or I'll just give them some crystals that I know that they'll, will help them on their journey, right? They're energy. They're little perfect rocks of energy.
Yes.
And I like having them around because I feel that they're very comforting. So citrine, for example, it's yellow stone, sometimes yellow. It's good for prosperity, and it's good for, I'll keep it by my desk if I'm working or doing homework or whatever, and it just kind of helps, right?
Right.
Amethyst, the purple stone, is very, very good for yoga and meditation and spirituality. So that's a stone that I'll have with me when I'm doing those things, right? So I think that, again, it's all under this big umbrella of yoga.
Right.
But yoga is just a very big, broad term. And having all those things to kind of enhance your practice is really nice.
I totally agree. And the crystals that you recommend, amethyst and citrine, is there a place that you recommend that people get them, at least if they're in Toronto? Or
you know what? I love Kensington the House of Energy, I think it's called, in Kensington Market. When I'm down there, I love them. But I live in Bolton.
Okay.
And the Rock Shop of Kleinberg is right down the street from me. They call it the Rock Shop of Kleinberg, but it's in Bolton. It's on Highway 50.
I see.
And it's right down the street. I can pretty much walk there. So they see me a lot.
I'm sure.
They have everything under the sun when it comes to crystals.
Yeah.
And they're very, very helpful as well. So I'll just pop in there and I'll get what I need, whether it's a gift or they have books as well. So yeah, those are my two really kind of go-to places when it comes to buying rocks.
Okay, cool. And just to kind of switch tracks a bit, I know you've been kind of getting into herbs a lot recently.
Yeah.
Or maybe in the past as well, but I've just seen more of it on your social media pages. And so I just love, I'm an Indian, and I'm big into spices. I put spices into everything, and herbs and all that stuff. So obviously I've already done that, but it's kind of becoming really big nowadays with the general population. So kind of get into it a little bit. Tell us a little bit about your own herbal practice.
It's medicine.
Yes.
It's medicine.
Yes, I
You
love
walk
that.
outside, you go for a hike, I look at my backyard, and it's full of medicine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just growing wild. And some I've planted. But whatever the dogs don't eat. But it really is. It's medicine. And I think that your body is very... when it comes... How do I say this without getting in trouble? I'm not a big fan on pharmaceutical or even allopathic medicine.
Totally
I feel like you can fix one thing and then hinder something else. I think it throws the body off balance. However, I've been very sick and I spent months in the hospital, and I've had surgery done, and I've had to go that route. And so I believe there's a time and a place for everything. Totally. And I don't shun it completely. I think that if you break your arm, you're not going to go see me. You're going to go see your doctor, right? However, if you're dealing with stress or sickness or chronic pain, even acute pain, we as holistic healers might be able to offer you something a little bit more, because we're going to take into account the whole body, and we're going to provide you things that will not harm the rest of your body if we're working on one part, if that makes sense.
Yes.
And I think your body is more, it absorbs it better. I think it's just more natural, so the body knows what to do with it a lot better. Right. So when it comes to herbs, I think that we all should be, I think that you need to not just go out and start picking and eating everything, but I think that you should really begin to, there are a lot of great herbalists in Toronto, but you can also do your own research as well. I'm a big advocate of doing your own research and being your own advocate for your own health as well. Yep. Seek professional help when you need it, but there's a lot of information out there. But at the end of the day, like what I said, herbs, they're medicine. And I lost my train of thought. This happens a lot because I ramble a lot.
So do you have
Yeah.
Any herbs that you recommend as like a daily dosage
Yes.
kind of
Okay.
thing?
So there are, that's what I want to speak to you about too. There are herbs, but there are also supplements
Okay.
that I recommend. So maybe we'll get into that a little later because
Yeah,
that's
sure.
something we should talk about. There are definitely herbs that I always keep on hand, and that is turmeric.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Turmeric is an amazing anti-inflammatory. When you look at all the different diseases in the world, there is one thing that they all have in common, and that they started with inflammation in the body and the body's inability to deal with it.
Right.
So, and then from there, it grows, right? And it turns into whatever illness that we're going to be susceptible to. So, but the underlying root is inflammation. So if we can target inflammation, we can save ourselves from a lot of issues down the road. So turmeric is one of the many, but one of the best that I like for anti-inflammatory purposes.
Okay.
And there's lots of ways to prepare it. I like to make golden milk, which is basically some ground up turmeric and ginger, coconut milk, and cinnamon, and you kind of just I think I have the recipe up on my Instagram somewhere.
Okay.
And you kind of just simmer it all together, and it makes this really great kind of tea, I guess.
Right.
And you can drink it every night, and it'll help you go to sleep as well, which is really nice. So turmeric is definitely one that I always have on hand. I like the roots fresh, but the powder, if you buy it organic, is also really nice too because it's quick. Turmeric, ginger, obviously.
Yes.
Ginger root is always in my fridge. You have an upset stomach, chew on a piece. You're not feeling so well, there's some nausea, chew on a piece. Poor digestion, chew on a piece, or make it into a tea. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. If you got congestion, sinus issues, chew on some turmeric. It really is amazing. It's I guess it takes a little bit of getting used to.
Yeah.
But if you make it into a nice tea, it's really nice. Mint is always on hand. That's a great digestive. It's also very cooling. So when it's really super hot outside, throw some of that into your water with a little bit of cucumber, and if you follow Ayurveda, it just helps to kind of cool down the body, right? Which is really nice. What else do I have on hand? Fennel is always... Okay. See, I have a lot of digestive issues, so I tend to always be drawn to the digestive herbs. So fennel is always around, so I just crush it up and make it into a really great tea.
I see.
You can also chew on it, but I prefer because it's very fibrous, right? So I just kind of break it up and throw it into a tea, steep it.
Okay.
What else do I have on hand? That's pretty much it, I think, with herb. And then, of course, there's the basil. Basil's super good for you, and I like to cook with it.
Right.
There's the regular herbs like rosemary and oregano. I'm Italian, so we kind of throw them on everything.
Yeah.
But all very, very good for you.
Yes.
Oregano is very warming. It's a warming spice. So they all have their own purpose. So it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good, really. But turmeric, ginger, fennel, peppermint, those are the ones that kind of always have on hand, just to kind of to throw into a tea or whenever I'm feeling not so great. Yeah.
And they're so easily available everywhere nowadays.
They're so easy, and that's the thing. One of my mottos is to keep it simple. Right?
Yes,
Keep it simple. You don't have to make all these crazy concoctions with your teas or have so many supplements because it's not sustainable to take 15 supplements every day.
Yeah.
Right?
It's expensive. Oh my God.
It's super expensive, and I've been down that path. Right? I've seen people and they'll give me 15 different supplements and mixtures and powders and drinks, and you know what? I probably was very ambitious, and I kept that up for like a week, and this went back to it's just not, we're too busy.
Of course, yeah, of course.
I think that, keeping it very simple. So there are some supplements that I recommend that everyone start using right away. So this is the very basic stuff. Everyone should be on a very good probiotic.
Okay.
Probiotic for your digestive health, for your immune system, especially if you've been on a course of antibiotics. Right, we should be putting in that good bacteria. Definitely. So probiotics are really good.
Because antibiotics kill the bacteria in your gut, basically, right?
They do. Exactly, it does, and it just it messes with the balance.
I see.
Right, and it can take a very long time for us to get back to normal after a round of antibiotics, if we even can get back to. Depends on how long you've been on it. So having the probiotics in your system is a very good idea. There's been some controversy about whether to take it during the course of antibiotics because they feel like it might just cancel everything out. I feel like it won't hurt. Just do it anyways. What stays, what lives, lives. What dies, dies.
Right.
But definitely after the course of antibiotics, you want to go on a good probiotic supplement and take it for life. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's safe, and there's different strains, and for different there's different brands. I don't even have a really good brand. They're all good. Yeah, I forgot the name of the brand that I use right now, but I think it has a strain of 50 billion, which is great. They have the critical care, which is good if you've been on antibiotics.
Okay.
So again, that's one thing I would definitely recommend, is a good probiotic, and also a good multivitamin.
I see. Okay.
A really good multivitamin, not one that you might find in the drugstore, right?
Or in Costco.
Costco. Oh, thank God you said it. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just and who made it? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, go to the health food store.
Yes.
Get something good. Get even, they even make food source supplements where everything is coming from food and it's all natural. It's organic. I use one that's made for vegans. It's called Vita Vegan. I really like it. There's no gelatin in it, and it works with vegetarians or vegans. It's got more B12, more iron, things that we're not getting from our food because we're not eating meat.
Right.
So I really like that one. But get yourself a good multivitamin, and vitamin C.
Okay.
Vitamin C is absolutely incredible for so many reasons, and I think that we should all be taking it.
Interesting. I've heard about the probiotics and the multivitamins, but the vitamin C I didn't hear about. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think that we underestimate how amazing vitamin C really is, and we should be definitely taking it every day. It's good for your immune system. It's good for your skin.
Right.
It's huge antioxidant. So there's definitely, if I have to recommend 4 things, the 4th would be a good antioxidant, a good blend.
I see.
There's a lot of powdered mixes that are really good. You just toss it into your water, and they got the full spectrum of antioxidants, or they make it from a food source. And so 4 things: antioxidant, your vitamin C, probiotic, and a multivitamin.
Perfect.
I think that's a good start. Again, I'm not claiming to be the expert of all experts.
Of course, yeah.
I do a lot of research. I do speak to a lot of people, and that's what I've come up with my clients. We start there.
Yeah.
We start there. And then depend on what their issue is and what they want to get, and then we will pick and choose and add certain things that might just be short term until we get where we want to be. But those 4 things are pretty much something that I'd recommend someone to be on forever.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's good. And, like, it's kind of great because you're simplifying everything for people. There's, like you said, so much information out there.
Oh my God.
Most people are overwhelmed by all the information, and
you
they
go to
end
the
up doing
health food
nothing.
store,
Yeah.
and it's like, what do you do and what do you buy?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think that's where nutritionists come in. We will guide you because you don't need everything.
Yes.
You can get something that, like vitamin C, like if you don't want to take an antioxidant and you don't want to, it's going to do everything. It's going to boost your immune system. It's going to be good for your skin. It's going to be a good antioxidant. So maybe start just with that and see where that goes. If you need more, we can, but that's why it's good to have people like us around, because we're there to guide you.
Yeah.
Right? We're there to guide you because it is incredibly overwhelming. It's even overwhelming for me sometimes when I walk into that place and I look for something so simple like magnesium, and there's 15 different choices.
Yes.
And if you don't know what you're buying or what what you need, then so it's good to speak to somebody and get some guidance, so you're on your path and you're on what's good for you. But you get what's good for you. So my motto, what I do is I keep it simple, and I find that it works.
Perfect.
More people are sticking with it. I'm getting more positive feedback. So yeah, it works. It works for me. I'm my own guinea pig.
Yeah.
Right? I'll never recommend someone to do anything that I don't truly believe will work for them, or that I haven't also done it myself and it's worked for me.
I like that a lot, because
Yeah.
if you're not doing it yourself, like, you can't recommend it to someone else. I don't believe in that
And
at all.
and you have to practice what you preach too, right? I'm not going to recommend someone to go on a cleanse if A, I haven't done it myself to see what the heck it's all about.
Yes.
And two, you know, if I don't truly believe that it's going to work for that person. That's why I do spend a lot of time with my clients. I want to know everything, whatever they're going through, whatever has happened, and what they want. So then I can really, really fine-tune something that will work for them, because I really want to help them.
Yeah, I know.
And I want to I want them to not be intimidated by anything, and to know that it can be easy. Taking care of your health doesn't have to be a chore. It can be fun.
Yeah.
It can be easy, and the benefits are, you know, obviously amazing, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So,
that's awesome. I think this is amazing. I think it's a great start for all the people who are listening. One last thing, how can people get a hold of you if they wanted to ask you questions, or if they want to, you know, take on your services? Is there a way that they can contact you?
So you can find me on Facebook, Linda, IAMUNDI, Down to Earth Yogi on Instagram. My email is my name, Linda_IAMUNDI at hotmail.com. I'm available all the time. I teach for Hot Yoga Wellness. So you can find me at any given day at any of the locations. So yeah, and I'm always available.
Yeah.
Except that's in the morning. But that has happened. That has happened before.
I'm sure. No, it's great. It's so useful to have a person like you in my life, because I truly believe that I am the healthy.
Sense. I'm a little bit nervous, and two, I ramble a lot. So,
I don't. No, you
I
don't.
hope whoever's listening to this is getting some kind of direction.
This is perfect. Thank you, Linda, for spending. I know you're busy, so it's really, I'm so grateful that you're spending time with me and whoever's listening. I think that even if one person listens to this audio or listens to this video, I think they'll get so much benefit out of it, because everyone wants to be healthy and everyone is confused about it. So I think you've given them some good steps to start, and then obviously they can get a hold of you at all those different spots.
Absolutely.
If they want to ask more questions. And
just take the first step. Go to your first yoga class. Do you know what I mean? Just take one step in the right direction, and you'll be amazed at what can happen.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and have a great day. I'll talk to you guys later.